This video is about the niche of volunteer tourism to explain what it is, why people do it, who is doing it, what impacts it has, and other information. So what exactly is volunteer tourism, also commonly known as voluntourism? Here is a basic definition of voluntourism. Those who volunteer in an organized way to undertake holidays that may involve the aiding or alleviating the material poverty of some groups in society, the restoration of certain environments, or research into aspects of society or environments.
There are various reasons for growing interest in this niche. Some of those explanations are because there are more volunteer opportunities for individuals to participate in now, causing the amount of volunteer tourism to grow significantly since the 1970s. Baby boomers are now retired and are eager to spend their time and money to volunteer also. The number of companies to oversee such business has increased, parallel to the amount of volunteer tourism opportunities. Finally, the age of volunteer tourists is now set at a wide range. For example, graduating high school students must now complete a certain number of volunteer hours to graduate, and more companies are recently requiring that their employees participate in substantial amounts of volunteer time per year.
Why do people engage in volunteer tourism? Here is a basic list of reasons why people might be motivated to become voluntourists. Some people have the honest desire to do good and help people less fortunate than themselves. Many church groups and religious schools choose to engage in volunteer tourism to complete mission work. Doctors and medical practitioners may travel and volunteer to increase the healthcare opportunities that a community may not otherwise have. For example, to deliver vaccines or clean teeth. Teachers may also travel abroad to teach English. Other people are motivated by the opportunity to build skills, develop a community, and conservation. Here are a few statistics regarding who the voluntourists are. Kids graduating from high school but are not yet ready for college may take a gap year where they travel and volunteer as a means to figure themselves out. College-age students also make up a large percentage of volunteer tourists. This is because there are many opportunities for this age group through church trips, alternative spring breaks, and study abroad programs. Baby boomers and early retirees are also typical volunteer tourists. They are wealthy and typically work less, which motivates them to spend their time doing good for others.
Volunteer tourism can have a profound impact on different locations. The impacts are seen economically, environmentally, socially, and culturally. The positive economic benefits are seen through the new influx of resources from outsiders and volunteers. They bring money, labor, and projects to an area. A new phenom of volunteer tourism has been dedicating a project to sustaining the natural resources of that area. Socially, volunteer tourism can create close relationships through similar interests and time spent together. While most volunteer tourists have good intentions, the industry can create negative impacts. Economically, if locals are not involved, the project is likely to be underutilized and resources will be wasted. Environmentally, tourists can hurt an area through pollution and carelessness. Socially, volunteer tourism can bring to light some prejudices that were originally hidden. If volunteers are not fully dedicated to their project, they may lose sight of their goals. Because of the explosion of participants, many companies have developed to try and facilitate those that are interested in the volunteer tourism industry. One of these companies is Bridge Volunteers. Bridge Volunteers is a branch of the international company Bridge that delivers thousands of language and teaching services to customs around the globe. I mentioned earlier that volunteer tourism can have a positive environmental impact. One company that dedicates itself to this is Conservation VIP, Volunteers International Program. The company looks to preserve and conserve the world's greatest landscapes and cultural sites. One nonprofit company that I participated in that is dedicated to volunteer tourism is called Bike and Build.
Voluntourists typically travel to underdeveloped destinations. Latin America, South Africa, Peru, Costa Rica, and Australia are the most common. Recently, more people have been traveling to destinations in the U.S. that have been affected by severe natural disasters, such as New Orleans and Joplin. Voluntourists usually get involved with this tourism niche through their religious or social movement groups such as church youth groups or the Peace Corps. A volunteer tourist will spend an average of $3,000 per trip. Volunteer tourism is a billion-dollar industry, with an estimated 1.6 million travelers giving money to both nonprofit and for-profit organizations each year. While it is a booming industry, the question is asked, is volunteer tourism truly helpful? Many people feel that it would be more beneficial to donate the amount of money that the trip would cost instead of actually going to that specific area. The argument is that most volunteer tourists do not know what they are doing when they arrive at their destination. Some believe the money would be better spent towards wages for the locals who can provide a greater amount of labor than the volunteer tourists could ever hope to.